What is up, Ancestral Minions? This is a quick video. I want to reply to this comment. Oh man, where to start with this one? I know I got a little snarky on this, but here's the thing, okay? The narrative around plant-based and sustainability is quite literally backwards, okay? Now, yes, factory farming of animals is a thing. It's a problem. It does not contribute to a better environment, right? We can agree on that. But this isn't some dichotomy between that and plants, and it's not mutually exclusive with some plants being better, worse, or bad for the environment as well. And so here's the thing. Monocrops are worse for the environment, and there's a lot of research that backs this up. They are worse for the environment than any animal-based agriculture. Right? So this plant-based narrative is this idea that if it's green and if it grows in the ground, that it's somehow better for the environment or it's better for your health or whatever. And it could not be further from the truth. So let's look at this comment on the Just Egg video that I did, all right? So this is the Just Egg video, the plant-based 16-ingredient fake egg squeeze. Do people actually buy this? Most of the comments were like making fun of the product because it's worth making fun of and whatever. And then we had this one comment on here from this person saying, delicious, and no chickens were crammed into little cages to make it. My response was, no, but countless small rodents, frogs, birds, and insects were slaughtered, growing the monocrops used to produce this slop. Check your narrative. And really, the video could end there because that's it in a nutshell. Okay? There's research here that shows, I got to find it, but you can probably find it if you look. I compared how many animals on like a pound for pound basis die, or how many species by weight, okay, die from standard animal agriculture compared to like your standard mass-produced monocrop, wheat, soybean, grains, etc. And what they found was that more animals, more pounds of animals in different species die as a result of growing monocrops and clearing large things of land and the runoff from growing these things and the pesticides and all the other things that happen that like kill wetlands and have all these really bad effects on the land, on the soil, on nature, that absolutely contribute to climate change. Plant kingdom, monocrops, are beyond a reasonable doubt worse for the environment than animal agriculture. And that's not even comparing like regenerative agriculture, beef, pork, chicken, whatever, grown on small family farms that are done in a very eco-friendly way, which is completely possible. And we could actually quite literally feed the world doing this. We would have basically millions of small farms. Instead, we have, since the early 1900s, at least in America, the consolidation of the farming industry and, big disgusting corporations like Monsanto and, the soybean and the subsidizing crops and all this conspiracy that goes on with, the USDA and food and whatever. A lot of these accidental conspiracies, I call them, are the result of the consolidation of the food supply, money and power, and thousands and thousands of small farmers went bankrupt, and a lot of them committed suicide because of this. This is something people don't really talk about or know. And again, it's not going even an inch deep into the narrative, right? So if you say like, oh, plants are better for the environment, right? What are you talking about? You're so far off base, it's not even funny, right? It's not an apples to oranges comparison. We're talking about literally thousands of variables that you have to account for. And then even then, growing plants and raising livestock, these are completely different processes that require a bunch of considerations. And you can do them better or worse on every end. And, in a regenerative agriculture model, you can absolutely grow plants and have fruits and vegetables and potatoes and things like that. You can grow them in a way that can be net carbon positive for the planet, okay? That can support animal livestock that can do the same exact thing. And you can have this beautiful ecosystem, okay? Now, obviously, we have a long way to go with this, and the regenerative model is kind of in its infancy, but there's some like amazing farmers doing some amazing work with this. And a good movie to watch is The Big Little Farm. Also, I believe it's Gabe Brown who's doing like a massive, like 5,000 acre farm where he's feeding people this way. And since he went to the regenerative model, he was actually able to make more money and feed more people while also improving the soil on the land. Like, it's incredible. Joel Salatin, that we have in the Ancestral Mind podcast, another kind of renegade farmer that has been doing amazing things for years. Even as the industry has become more and more consolidated and more aggressively has gone after small farmers. I mean, it's insane how mistreated farmers are when they provide life. it's sad. It's sad. And this type of dogma and this narrative that gets perpetuated by the mainstream media and by all these plant-based animal rights kind of like activists, it just ends up hurting more people. It ends up destroying our soil even more. It ends up contributing to climate change. And it's sad. It's sad. And I would even say in a lot of cases, it's dangerous. It's dangerous propaganda. So you can obviously dive into these different topics like a lot more. You know, you can look into regenerative agriculture. You can try to find some of the research around animal ag versus plant ag and all these different things, and water usage and sustainability. And, you know, there's a lot of bad research out there, of course, because that's when it comes to research, we know there's a lot of bad research. I mean, look why people still think that fat is bad for you or that you should have a low sodium diet or whatever. I mean, these myths are still perpetuated, even though we literally know that they're a lie and they're killing people. Yet, yeah, is status quo going to change? The doctor's going to change? Does Big Pharma have any incentive to change? Obviously not. Let me know in the comments below. What do you think about this? Do you think that this narrative, talking about how chickens weren't crammed or whatever, is he on point? Is he totally off base? Whatever. I will say that mass-produced chickens and pork have a lot of problems, and I'm not supporting of them. And if we can make a product like this, like some kind of egg product where we could have chickens like Vital Farm chickens or that you know that are outside that have plenty of access to nature and whatever, and we could do that in a way we could still do things and have a large scale food system. It would just have to come from a lot more smaller operations than one big one. And that's what you see with all this plant-based stuff. When you have a plant-based processed food product, all the company's trying to do is consolidate. The profit is in consolidation. It's not in spreading it out and having a complex or more complex supply chain and having to do more things this way or whatever in like better quality, right? Because better quality generally when it comes to food is more expensive. And when you have a product that you want to reach millions of people with and you want to make profit off that, you have to simplify things, you have to consolidate. And that's part of the problem with all the monocrop food and the plant-based dogma is this idea that, you know, plants from a local small farm are the same as plants from a big mono farm. And so we can just basically say all plants are this way or whatever. It's completely ridiculous. Just completely ridiculous. Okay, short video. I'll see you in the next one.